Guys, enjoy today's video. Thank you so much for all the likes, comments, new subscribers, old subscribers, current subscribers. You guys are awesome. You guys are the reason we make these videos. It's a pretty good day. It was a muddy day, but I guess you'll see all about it in today's video getting ready to happen right about meow. So thanks for all the logger threads orders. It means the world. Like I said, I always preach this: as long as you guys keep buying the Logger Threads brand, we'll keep coming out with new designs, keep shipping that stuff all over the world like we do. So guys, thank you so much. Be sure to follow us on everything we do: Turner Logging LLC, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, it's not near as cold this morning as it was yesterday. I think we had about 23 when we got here. They're already up there in the timber cutting, getting ready to come down to the deck with some, hopefully here soon. I've greased the skid steer, been letting it warm up. It was kind of froze down. I'd let it warm for a while, then went to move it, and at first it wasn't wanting to move, and I just kind of gently worked it back and forth where it finally broke loose, because it was kind of frozen on the bottom side. And I took a shovel yesterday and tried to clean everything out real good. That way it wouldn't freeze up, because that wouldn't be a good way to start the day, for sure. But what we're going to do first, hopefully before the first set of logs get down here to start working up, I'm going to take the rest of this stuff here, and we're going to put it over here to where they can reach it real easy. We need to take our last two logs there from the lumber pile, the pallet and lumber and stuff like that. I'll move them out of the way for now, but I definitely want to get these over here. That way they can pull right in the gate and load them, and I don't have to feed them. And plus it kind of gives us a little more room to work here in the deck. This old gumbo mud up here, end of the day yesterday, when we loaded out a truck, I was having to feed him. I think I had that in yesterday's video. Sometimes I forget what I put in videos. Too much going on. Anyway, it was getting a little soft in here. I wasn't really sinking down per se, but just that stuff gums up so bad, and you get a load on the forks there, it ain't wanting to go too good. So we'll see if we can't get the rest of those moved out. Then hopefully we can have another good day like yesterday on the walnut. It's another pretty good bunch laid in. If we can have another day, and we'd have got a lot more done yesterday if it hadn't been for the road conditions up through there. And the user JA, I would like to thank you very much for our talk we had last night about chains on skidders, because I don't know a whole lot about chains for skidders, because we've never really had to use them before. But we're definitely thinking about putting a set on for all the work we've got to do up here the rest of the winter. Man, a lot of trains come through here. I think that's the third one this morning. I've only been here an hour. Anyway, so we'll jump in there, start trying to get this stuff moved around, then get ready to start filling the deck back up. Load of coal. Good stick of wood there. We're back from lunch. First drag's come out since then, and you know the video I made here or put out last week, I don't know, I think last Friday or something, it's goes over the importance of the deck and how crucial it is on marking your logs right. And you know, on some of these walnut logs, it sounds crazy, but I really have to study them and study them a couple times. And you'll see on some of these logs, like there might be multiple paint spots on them where, you know, I try to figure them the best way possible. Because for one, I don't want to lose anything, but at the same time, I want to make sure my cuts are bringing the most money possible. Because that's the name of the game. It's all about what's going to bring the most money, not so much the footage. Because you can have logs that'll bring in a lot more money and sacrifice footage doing it. And like I said, that footage is great. You got to have a decent amount of footage to have a decent amount of money, but at the same time, you got to ensure that each one of your cuts is going to stay in the money and keep your average high. So, like I said, you can kind of see here some paint spots on some of these logs where I might mark them 2 or 3 times where I can remeasure, get them where I need to be. Anyway, it's starting to get greasy now. I mentioned something before. I actually just ordered a set of tire chains like 10 minutes ago. I ordered them from Josh Taylor at Dozer Stuff down there in Kentucky, which I've ordered a lot of stuff from Josh over the last few years, whether it be tires or parts. He's a great guy. He was the first person we ever had advertised on the Timber Tracker app and website. So he's always treated us right. He's a big supporter of Logger Threads. Josh always ordering the new shirt designs when they come out. But I'd also like to thank, I don't know your name, I know your username is JA on our YouTube channel here. You know, the talk we've had the last 18 hours about tire chains and pros and cons, because I know nothing about them. I didn't know if I needed to order, you know, ice chains or the multi-rings or double multi-rings or single rings. And, you know, it's we've been talking back and forth, and it's really been some good insight for guys that run chains all the time on their operation. And I think that with the type of stuff we're working up here in northern Missouri, and we've talked about it before, about chaining up a machine being up here up north, because the terrain's just a little different up here than it is back home. We got so much rock back home that we rarely ever need chains for what we do back in southwest Missouri. And up here, you get in these hills where you need some extra traction to help you get up these hills, especially with the snow on and slick and freezing and thawing. I think the chains will really, really be nice working up here. And said we've got quite a bit of timber to cut up here right now, and we usually do cut quite a bit of timber up in this part of the world. So now that I've got these two worked up, I'm going to go ahead and fire the skid steer up, get them sorted over here in our pile. Pile's starting to look pretty good again. If it wasn't for the terrain, or if we were chained up right now, we could really be rolling some wood out. Really be rolling it out, but we'll get these stacked in there. The skidder should be coming back anytime with another turn, and we'll get them marked and put away as well. There's a piece of bur oak right there. That's a big one. Big piece. Good log. Man, that thing's got to be upwards of 30 inches or better down here. Yeah, I'd say more like 36 or 38. Just a big quarter saw log. That's all she is, but man, it's a big one, a lot of footage in it. I was not expecting that to come down the hill. We'll jump on here and get these things rode back up. Some of these walnut are having real good sap lines, and some of them are sappy, which people comment all the time about how sappy our walnut is. Yeah, it's better up here than it is back home, but back home our walnut is sappy, but we can harvest it every 5 to 7 years too, generally, if you manage it right. So I can deal with that. I can definitely deal with that. That thing's gonna be a chunk. That's gonna put a strain on the old 289 here. I'm sure you guys will want to see this. Come on, old girl. She's doing it, but she don't like it. Oh boy. We'll light the back end. We're just gonna set this thing right over here. Right there, meow. That's where we'll set it. Right there, out of the way. Like I said, that's just a big quarter saw log. It's not like it's veneer or anything, but these bigger pieces of bur oak, white oak, chinkapin oak, we have a pretty good quarter saw market on them. So that's what we do with them. We can sell them with our walnut. Now this is a humdinger of a red oak. That's really starting to air out good where I've bucked it. Of course, it's still got a lot of water coming out of this side, but that is just one humdinger. I made 2 12s out of it. That's about as pretty as red oak as I've seen come to the deck or been a part of cutting in a long time. Just a real nice log right there. Wish we had a good market for them, but we just don't here. Of course, what we think's good here, you guys all east of the Mississippi have all the good trees. You guys step over the stuff we cut that we call good. perch. Well, that's the end of another day. A little after 4 o'clock, gonna head on in. I'm actually going back to Stockton tonight. Go back there. Make sure Tips is doing okay. Get a bunch of logger threads orders boxed up and ready to ship out tomorrow. Then I'll be back tomorrow night, or tomorrow, to hopefully it'll be frozen enough in the morning we can get a decent little bunch of logs out. Then we'll do another sale Friday. So that's it. Let's get out of here. Let's go home. About 3 hours for the driving to do.